All right, finally we have the fourth talk between our guest Arby Flesk. Hi Arby Flesk, how are you?
Hello.
And the anti-pope Benedict Spinoza, alias Baron Ziggy. Hello, anti-pope.
Hello, how's it going?
Fantastic, fantastic. It's a beautiful day outside, actually. A little bit. And by the way, my name is Conte Mario l'Italiano, and we are here to speak about this Twilight Harry Potter. Harvey Flesk, you saw the movie. What is this? It's a book, the Twilight Harry Potter. I know Harry Potter, but I don't know Twilight Harry Potter. Harvey Flesk, can you tell us what is Twilight Harry Potter?
Twilight is a series of 4 novels which were stretched out into 5 films in much the same process that Harry Potter is 7 novels which were stretched out into 8 films. The reason being, there's only so many cows and Hollywood wants as much hamburger as they can, so they're going to stretch it.
Oh, I see. But
squeeze 1 extra movie out of each.
It's a copy of Harry Potter?
No, Twilight is different. Twilight is about teenage sex and relationships.
Wow, teenage sex. That's, what is rated X, rated R? What is it?
No, but I mean, it's obviously about that, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. Anti-Pope, I think that being the anti-Pope, unless, you do not approve this Twilight Harry Potter.
Oh, of course not. I don't approve of witchcraft or vampires. You know what we do with witches and vampires. We give them a firm scolding.
Scolding, yes. No, but...
Jesus is a vampire, isn't he?
No.
He's all about drinking blood, coming back to life,
Yeah, but he doesn't drink other people's blood. He has other people drink his blood.
And wasn't he tortured on a wooden stake? I see a connection.
Well, I must say the truth. My great, we're going 16 times great-grandparent was burned at the stake in Rome. Also, it was put on the pole, and then the Catholic Church burned it. But to say that Jesus is a vampire, I'm not sure. What do you say, Anti-Pope? After all, you are Benedict Spinoza the First. Go ahead, Pope.
Oh, that's correct. That sounds like heresy to me.
Yes, heresy. But anyway, we can forgive Arby Flesk, I guess, for this.
But I'm not a Christian, so I can't be a heretic.
Good point.
No, I think non-Christians can be heretics.
No, we're just infidels.
Okay, fine.
All right.
You're an infidel then.
Yeah. But anyway, Arby Flesk and the Anti-Pope, did you read Harry Potter? The real Harry Potter, Arby Flesk.
Yes, all 7 books. And I saw all 8 movies.
All 8 movies. And what do you think, Arby Flesk?
Well, I think it was, it was a pretty wide-ranging fantasy series. It started as, just a classic Bruno and Boots style school novel, and it ends up being just this sort of commentary, on, England and the world, but it's still a school novel. I think it's a really great example of the British school novel, to be honest with you. And the main character was, a dumb jock, which is something I couldn't understand, being as how many smart scientists and nerds loved those books. But,
go ahead.
Harry Potter is in the tradition of the school novel, which is a long-established format. When I was a kid, there was a Canadian series, Bruno and Boots, which they had in my school library. And before that, I guess that was inspired by some ancient Billy Bunter series in England. And the concept is you've got these kids who go to a fancy private school, and there's like one kid of each type, and they have adventures, and nothing ever changes. It's a precursor to the sitcom.
Oh, Well, but Antipope, did you, Antipope Benedict Spinoza, alias Baron Ziggy, did you read Harry Potter, Antipope? What do you think?
I did several times. In fact, I thought they were good because the villains were basically wizard Nazis, and wizard Nazis. Well, I guess Nazis of any kind make great villains because you can just sort of shoot them and kill them, and it doesn't come across as being too bad.
Oh, but it's strange because Pope Benedict XVI.
Of course, my predecessor.
Yes, your predecessor was against Harry Potter. He actually came out in condemning Harry Potter because was introducing to many kids these magicians, these wizards, and of course we can say that Benedict XVI is a muggle, but anyway. So Antipope, your position is new for me. What do you think? What do you think about Benedict XVI?
Oh, I think he had the right idea of witchcraft is, of course, a sin.
I must say that actually I don't know anything in Twilight, Harry Potter, but I did read Harry Potter. I am a scientist, and I read, and I think Albie Flesk, I'm sure, will disapprove this. I read Harry Potter 6 times, all 7 books.
Wow.
On the 7th time, on the 3rd Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban, I stopped. I said something's wrong with me. So for that reason, I didn't read the 7th time all. But the first 2, actually, I would say no. I finished the 3rd. For the first 3, I read actually 7 times. To the point that I almost memorized some chapters. So, speaking on that, I think that was a great book. Great series of books. I think that there are basic lessons in life that I thought was fantastic. But anyway, that's my opinion. Albie Flesk, you disagree, of course.
No, I think though that despite the direction she took it in, that it's still obviously based in the British boarding school novel, right? So I think it has an attraction to scientisty type people or other people who spend a whole lot of time at college.
Yeah.
But yet it crosses class lines. I've known people who don't go to college, never will. Their idea of fun is 10 beers and a fist fight, and they like Harry Potter too. So I don't know. George Orwell wrote back in the 40s about the British school novel as a genre, how it's attractive to people who are never going to that kind of school. It's sort of aspirational. And, I guess it's got some universal pull to it.
Well, the message that says that it doesn't matter what are your qualities, is the decision that you make in life that decide practically your life.
Oh, that may be the surface moral.
No.
But look at the hero.
What do you mean?
Harry's not a self-made guy. He's the opposite of it. Okay, let's start with it. He's this skinny little kid, right? He's a complete weakling. He's abused by his family. He lives in a closet. They beat him. They starve him, right? He's got no money. He's got no friends. He's got no nothing.
I disagree with the money. When he goes...
Well, that's the point. One day a wizard arrives on a flying motorcycle, and he finds out, oh, he's rich. Oh, he's popular. People like him in the wizard world. And then he finds out that he's really good at sports. In fact, he's the captain of the football team Quidditch. And it turns out he's really good at fighting. So everything he's not when he's locked in the closet is just handed to him.
And
these are all things that kids dream of, Oh, I wish I was rich. I wish I was popular. I wish I could beat everybody up. I wish I was captain of the football team and got all the cheerleader hunts.
No, come on. I don't think that every kid's love to be almost close to death, and die. No, every kid like
He knows on some level there's genre blindness. We know Harry's not going to die at least until book 7.
Well, yeah, but he dies. I mean, and then it's his choice to go back.
That's such a cheat. I thought that was a cheat when I was a kid reading Chronicles of Narnia. I mean, bear in mind, I didn't know it. I hadn't heard about Christianity at the time. I didn't know Aslan was a Jesus-y cat. I was
Lion
just like,
Jesus.
I was just like, oh, you cheating cat. All this moping and doping and oh, he's dying. And he doesn't. You cheat, Aslan. You know? I thought it was a cheat back then. And, I kind of think, it's kind of a cheap trick now.
Okay, but not many people like to be hunted, for sure kids, hunted by grown-ups that they want to kill this kid. Not many people, for example, not many kids want their parents are dead, and you never saw their parents.
Was he better off being beaten and abused and locked in a closet all day? I mean, then they were ignoring him, which was worse. I mean, a crazy man of my acquaintance says it's better to hit a cat with a shovel than to ignore it.
Well, definitely.
Because if you are not stroked, your spine will shrivel up. My friend says that because he's crazy as a snake, but when he's out of the institution, he says things like that. And I mean, that's the point. At least everyone pays attention to Harry. I mean, here's the plot of each novel for the most first 5 or 6. Harry is popular. Something happens to make Harry unpopular. It's very sad. There's some sort of conflict. Harry is very brave. At the end, Harry's popular again.
Anti-Pope, I don't want to leave you out from the discussion.
So, hero-centric, it could be that Harry Potter is just hallucinating all of this, or maybe it's his fantasy.
He's hallucinating it all while he's dying of malnutrition and beatings while locked in a closet.
Yeah.
Every now and again, the child welfare social workers come around and they're like, "Whoa, you got your ass kicked. What happened?" He's like, "Oh, I fell off my broom 50 feet in the air while playing Quidditch. You see, there were Dementors, And they're like, wow. Crazy story. It's kind of like the equivalent of I fell down the stairs.
But no, Anti-Pope, continue. I understand. You're very adamant. I mean, Arbiflesk, you're very, very strong. I would say, if I may say, I don't want to judge, but you seem very negative, Arbiflesk, about Harry Potter.
No, I mean, I think in the end, if you read it, it's for you. I read it, it's for me too.
What do you mean with that? I'm sorry, can you explain?
I mean, I could say, these are books for kids who dream of stupid high school kid stuff. But the fact that I plowed through all the books and saw all the movies says that, like it or not, I relate to that tension too. I relate to the ideas in play. It's a book for me too, and the proof is that I've got several of them on the shelf right here. So I can't judge too harshly. It's just I think it says something about what's popular in our society and what we all think about.
If you remember, they risk also torture. In fact, actually, the last books are not very, very adapt for kids, in the sense that we see war, homicides, torture. If you remember, Armani is tortured, and there is...
or Neville's parents, off screen.
Oh, yeah, before the book start.
Yeah, exactly. When she sent in Australia the parents, and practically she loses the parents, because it goes to obliviate their memory. So I don't know about that. I am a little bit titubant, a little bit surprised of your strong rejection about these books, Reflex. But anyway, and plus I think that there are lots of, for example, Professor Lockhart. As a scientist, I see this every day. There is a lot.
Oh yeah, I know that guy too.
There is a lot of plagiarism. You see in science.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And that is a classic plagiarist. I mean, that really takes idea of other people and takes advantage of these ideas. Anti-Pope, what do you like of Harry Potter, and what protagonist do you like? What person you like?
I don't know. I don't know if I really have a favorite. It's just the dialogue's really good. It's a page turner. It's sort of more of an ensemble cast. It's kind of the opposite of I just reread Hunger Games, and I don't really like any of the characters that much. like all the characters in Harry Potter. In Hunger Games, you don't necessarily like most of the characters, but you read anyway.
You, R.B. Flesk, I mean, what character did you like? What type of what type of character did you like in Harry Potter?
Honestly, as the series grew on, I ended up liking Snape because Snape said all the things about Harry that I was thinking. I mean, the author was clever there. You know, Harry really is a dumb jock, and Dumbledore really is manipulating him to do his dirty work.
But Dumbledore was doing a dirty work.
Slaughter, you know? I mean, Snape was a real character. You know, he had a relationship once. It didn't work out. We can all relate to that, you know?
Yeah,
he wanted a job, he couldn't get it. I mean, that's an adult concern. I'd say Snape was the only character who had genuinely adult issues. He may have been crazy, but I mean, aren't we all?
Yes and no. I do believe that actually the protagonist is not Harry Potter in the books. Is in the books, actually, in some specific books.
What do you think it is?
Two protagonists, is Dumbledore and Snape. Snape are, these two people decide everything. And we understand in the chapter 32nd.
Well, that's what Snape is saying from book 3 on, is you're using this kid. I thought you didn't like the kid, Severus. I don't, but you're using him. You know, this is unfair.
No, but you're right. In fact, I repeat, the central point was the fact that they were trying to protect themselves also. Themselves, the people, other people from, because both dies, other people from Lord Voldemort. So, for this reason, I believe that the protagonist, the one that decided everything, were Dumbledore and Snape. But anyway, Anti-Pope. So, you saw, I guess, all the movies also, correct?
Oh, that's right.
And I found it awful, all the movies, because I read the books, then I saw the movies, and I found it awful. What do you think, Anti-Pope, of the movies?
I thought they were good. It's just sort of a condensed, illustrated version. You can't really expect it to be too close to the books.
Yes, no, it's not like the Hobbits. I mean, that was probably word by word the movie. I'll be Flesk, yes. What do you think of the movies?
Honestly, I thought they were good. The first couple were nice kids' movies. They were the kinds you could actually sit there with actual children, and you'd all enjoy it.
Yes.
The Dursleys were well developed, you know. Mm-hmm. But as it went on, by the time of movies 4 and 5, everything's all dark and Twilighty the whole time. I mean, not the, you know what I'm saying? That whole blue look. The kids are no longer bothering to dress like wizards. They're wearing street clothes most of the time. And by the end, you know, it seems like they're throwing in gratuitous excuses to, you know, put Hermione in a dress. The message is, hi, I'm looking for a job. Emma Watson would like a real job when this ends. That's why she's wearing a dress now, see?
No, you're right. That is actually a good point. I found that the movie is not, there is no fidelity.
But I thought they were good. It's just, you know, yeah, the kids probably got tired of wearing robes all the time. Why not?
The first.
I mean, the only low part was the last one, where it's the one before last, I mean, which is basically Harry and Hermione camping in the woods forever.
Camping in the woods, yeah. No, well, but I don't like there were some things in the movie that were not even close to the book.
Yeah, well, that's movie making, you know. That's fine with me.
No, that's not fine. Anyway, Anti-Pope, do you approve? Do you give your imprimatur to the movie? Imprimatur means the blessing on the Pope, and so.
Oh, of course, I know what it means. I'm the anti-Pope.
I'm sorry. The anti.
You know, I don't like that they changed the ending. That you know, there was a happy ending at the end of book 7, and you know, the evil wizard was defeated, and then all of the other wizards were burned at the stake or repented. I think they should have put that in the movie, that all the wizards were burned at the stake or repented.
Do you think that there will be a continuation on these books. I don't believe that they will continue.
I think she did as much with the universe and setting as she could. I mean, that's like asking, will there be more Lord of the Rings? There could be, but it would be silly. It would be like the success of the latest series of Dune novels, you know, done by the author's son. And they just aren't the same. It's like, compared to the originals, they might as well be written in crayon on a bar napkin.
Well, I didn't really like any of the sequels that much. Same with Ender's Game. I liked the first one, but I didn't really like the sequels.
At least Ender's Game was all done by the same guy.
That's true. But even the sequels by Frank Herbert, I thought they just got kind of weird.
But, I mean, do you really have a problem with Ender's Game? I mean, I think Orson Scott Card was making a strong message, and we'll probably talk about that later. You know, I think we should edit this out. It has nothing to do with this. I mean, little Hitler kid, you know.
Do you think that will be remembered like Alice in Wonderland or like Pinocchio? Like, I mean, do you think that in the history of literature, Harry Potter will be used in, I don't know, in school, other places?
Oh, I think definitely. I mean, the thing about schools is they often roll some edges off. I remember in 7th grade having to read an edited version of one of Anne McCaffrey's Dragon books, and they chopped out a whole page where a kid gets killed by a dragon. This is early on. It's to set the message that the dragons, if you go up to them all fearfully or with a poor attitude, they will rip you in half. And they cut that out of the school book, out of the edit.
Harry Potter kind of cool.
They often children's books get the edges rolled off of them. I mean, Alice in Wonderland was pretty trippy originally. They roll it off for modern kids. They always adapt it. And Pinocchio, the author of Pinocchio genuinely hated children, especially boys.
I didn't know that. He hated the kids.
Sure, the whole story's about boys acting up and having horrible things happen to them as a consequence.
Oh, I didn't
It's
know
all that happens in the entire book.
I didn't know that, actually. I didn't know that he hated kids. Antipop, do you think he will? This book will go forever? I mean, it will use in the schools.
I think so. I think it has some staying power.
But will you use this in the Vatican? Because the Vatican already had some problem with the Benedict XVI. I bet that in the school in the Vatican they will not accept it. Will you?
Well, you know, we have our version of the book in which there's a happy ending and everyone is turned to the stake.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's a fantastic happy ending. Yeah, because that is more connected to the church. And
that's right.
And as I know that is this is a very, 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 very difficult question. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
What makes you guys both think that the Death Eaters get burned at the stake anyway? Does it actually say that?
Well,
I was sent to Azkaban.
No, actually,
this is our special version of the book in which all the witches and wizards are burned at the stake.
For example, in the movie, that's another thing. Lord Voldemort is disintegrated because they want to do the 3D effect. Meanwhile, in the book, it's buried outside the school, outside the perimeters of the school, and in a place that nobody can find it. One more thing, and it's a very difficult question. The political side. Do you see, I'm Italian, I always interpret it in politics. Do you see any connection with politics? Who do you think is Lord Voldemort, for example, connecting to the political side? That's tough. Adolf Hitler, for example?
Pretty obviously, and he's making a genetic argument which is actually fairly sound. As others have pointed out, if you assume that magic is a dominant gene, then allowing intermarriage will produce wizarding families which have a large number of squibs as offspring.
Yeah.
People who are you'll have half the wizards in the culture, part of the culture, but unable to participate in it. I think it's more of a general environment. Obviously, the last moments of the government and how quickly it switches over to a Voldemort-led coalition are supposed to invoke Bush and the War on Terror in some way.
Yeah. I agree.
And wizard society is totalitarian. The fact that, say, the government knows if a kid shoots off, protect us. What's the name of that spell? Whatever that charm is.
Oh, Patronus.
Patronus, right.
Patronus,
so they're tracking everything. They track the flu network, they track apparition. You can't really travel without being watched. It's a pretty totalitarian regime that the wizards live under. And the goal of it is to keep it secret from the muggles. Because a couple good nukes, and it doesn't matter how much magic you have, there goes Diagon Alley. Kaboom! So it's a very conformist society. And it's all about, it all goes back to the fantasy novel convention of these beings live among us in secret. But I guess what I think is, there's really no cooperation between the Wizard Society's government and the Muggle Society. If they put their technologies together, they'd win. I mean, the Wizards could use better ways of transportation. The Muggles could use, some of the Wizards' healthcare technologies. They could work on it.
No, but then also the Muggle, I must say true, the Muggle Prime Minister is considered very wimpy. I was going to destroy and beaten up, the Prime Minister, Magic Prime Minister, for all the junk that he did. Not giving all the information about Lord Voldemort and all that he did. But anyway, that's my opinion. But Antipope, do you see any political aspect, for example?
Well, I don't know. Most of it was just sort of, the Death Eaters were the Nazis, and the Order of the Phoenix were La Resistance. I guess you could probably turn just about anything into a political allegory for current times too.
Do you see some saint? You will not make Harry Potter a saint, for example. That's
I don't think so. I think he would need to repent or be burned at the stake.
But repented, burned at the stake, Harry Potter?
Oh, sure. He's a witch.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. So also everyone. So
of course, they're all witches
all
and
the
wizards.
kids. Yeah. All right. So okay. So you want to put at the stake the Dementors, the Death Eaters. You want to put at the stake also the witch, everyone practically.
Oh, of course.
But that's a wonderful ending, Pope.
Yeah, happy ending.
All right. So anyway, any other thoughts? I'm sorry, RB Flask, we didn't speak about the Twilight Harry Potter. Would you like to say anything about the Twilight Harry Potter? Do you recommend it, for example?
You mean the Twilight novels?
Yes, the Twilight novels.
I don't know. They're just about teenage sex. I mean, I would suggest you watch the first movie and you just take out all the bits where Edward shows vampire powers. And what do you have? You have a boy picking up a girl with low self-esteem and getting her to have sex with him. And, talking about, vampires, I've been in high school so long, like hundreds of years, and you have Bella saying the same things to her dad that her mother does, just done thinking, It's actually an interesting movie if you take out the fangs.
Well, actually, I will skip it. I don't know you, Antipope. Will you watch it? Will you broadcast in the Vatican?
Oh, of course. They show good morals. The boy vampire has a purity ring. He remains chaste until marriage. I think it shows good morals to the kids. And then at the end, everyone gets burned at the stake. So I think everyone wins.
Antipope, you like to burn the stake, everyone.
No one gets burned at the stake.
I seem to recall everyone getting burned at the stake.
Well, maybe you read the different ones.
What is it?
Yeah, I might have read it in Latin.
Did you? Probably. But did you like to burn at the stake people?
Well, I mean, they're heathens. They need to be burned at the stake.
Oh, wonderful. Anyway, actually came out again a very interesting and serious conversation. There is no other things to say about Harry Potter. We will see you next time. I don't know. Do you have anything to say, RB Flask?
No, thank you.
All right, Antipope, you're all set? Okay.
Thank you for listening, and don't be witch or wizard or vampire.
Oh, because then you will burn at the stake, correct?
Precisely. You're learning quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Ciao a tutti.
Goodbye.
All right.